I'm glad you're here. Thank you very much for joining me. And thank you to you-know-who, those of you that have bought me cups of coffee. God bless you. You're angels in disguise. And thank you to the new subscribers who support my work on Patreon. Thank you so much. I was going to do a video strictly about the earthquakes in Iran. There was a magnitude 3.2 recently, but they've actually had quite a few earthquakes today. Since I put that 3.6 on here, they've had a 2.5, a 3.1, a 3.2, and a 3.6 by FARS. Here's that initial 3.2, but things have just gotten crazy over there. The president of Iran is even calling for a regime change. How can you be a president and not in control? Maybe it's like England, where they have, the ruling class, the king and queen, but they don't rule. They got the parliament. So maybe that's the same thing like they have there. I don't know. A message of hope from King of Iran, Pali Rezez, sorry for that, to the Iranian people fighting to overthrow the terrorist Islamic Republic. Let us not worry about the future after the fall of the Islamic Republic. Iran will not suffer from civil war and instability. I had heard too, he had said that if the ruling class of the regime, if they turn themselves in, they'll have a fair trial. And Israel bombed, let's see if I can find it, one of the main political prisons there in Iran by Tehran, I think. Yeah, right there. And the Revolutionary Guard came in and killed the warden of that prison. Why would you kill him? He had nothing to do with Israel bombing the prison. So I don't know how many prisoners were killed or whatever, but the IRCG, I think they're called, they went in and and they killed the warden. Yeah, maybe he knew too much, I don't know. But going back to this earthquake down here, the magnitude 3.2. Now that was near their nuclear site. It's close to where they make the heavy water. I know I got that on here. I put that on here somewhere. Let's see, where did I put it? Oh, right up over there. There it is. Yeah, Iraq heavy water reactor. It's a key component to Iran's nuclear program. It's a focal point of international scrutiny due to its potential for plutonium production, despite Iran's peaceful claims. I'll keep saying this. Yeah, they do have nuclear weapons, but they do not have the technology to miniaturize it, to put it on their missiles. It's just too heavy right now. Yeah, they could probably put a big nuclear bomb in a truck and drive it somewhere, but yeah, can you imagine that? So they don't have the means to miniaturize it. North Korea has said that they are willing to send Iran nuclear weapons. North Korea has miniaturized, and they got at least 50 nuclear weapons, I know, and they have offered Iran, some of those. I forget who it was that came into North Korea and helped them with the miniaturization of their nuclear weapons. I'll have to look that back up, but they had help, and that's how North Korea developed its nuclear program. And another thing that has not been raised is, where is the supreme leader, the Ayatollah Khamenei? There has been no comments whatsoever from him anywhere, and he used to post stuff all the time since this war broke out in Iran, and supposedly he is deciding who's going to be the runner-up when he dies, because he's evidently 86 years old. So is he already dead, and they're going to say that the Ayatollah picked this person or that person to be the next standing supreme leader? Is he already dead? Is that why he hasn't posted anything? I'd like to know what you think about that. So anyways, Iran is today, or has today, gone to Russia to talk about what? I hope it's not the fact that they want Russia's help in fighting off Israel. Now, if they do that, Russia will agree to bring in its military and intervene on Iran's behalf, because they did that with Ukraine. And Russia wants to save face. They'll sell them all kinds of weapons, whatever they need. I mentioned before that S-400 missile defense systems were sent there to Iran. They haven't been activated for whatever reason. Maybe they don't know how to push the on button. I don't know. But when it comes to actual military aid, boots on the ground, flying the planes, they're not going to do that supposedly until Iran asks them to do that. And is that why the officials went to Russia today? That's something to think about. Now, Israel did strike the Iraq heavy water reactor facility. Was it on the 15th, I think it was? But supposedly it was not in operation. It is situated in a seismically active, the Zagros Fold and Thrust Belt. The facility faces significant earthquake risk from nearby faults like the Mountain Front Fault. I got them all drawn out here in red. So there's a concern that the facility has not been built to seismic standards of what we would probably have in other countries or here in the U.S. So poor construction standards, the reoccurring issues of earthquakes could exacerbate damage to the nuclear facility if not built to modern seismic codes, and it's not. There was a 2017 earthquake that did cause some damage. I got some within this location. We got a 6.1 in 2006, 1958 a 6.7, 1957 a 6.5, 1776 a 6.2, and there's other ones down here. But yeah, we're concentrating on this location. 2002 a 6.5, 1962 a 7.1. Yeah, really a very seismic area. Now they're saying that the heavy water reactor towers may be more vulnerable to seismic activity. It could lead to leaks of the heavy water. Though not radioactive, it could cause a chemical hazard. Contaminate the surrounding soil and water. Back in 2019, the IAEA found that spare parts that they were allegedly using there were photoshopped. That's a common thing for pipes. The welds for pipes don't pass inspections, so they'll come in and touch them up, make it look like there's no cracks, and in fact there is cracks. They even do that for nuclear power plants here in the United States. Here we have a recent satellite image of the Iraq heavy water plant. Now this satellite image was on the 14th of this month. So maybe the attack was before that. I don't know. So this is the earthquakes. I believe one of them is in a different area, but this is the earthquakes for today. We got one, a 3.0, which I don't think that was on there before. 3.6, 3.2, 3.1, 2.5. The 3.6, that was Afghanistan. So there's been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 earthquakes there just today alone. And then you can see for the 22nd, looks like the largest was a 4.4. Anyway, so that's all I have for you right now. If you have any thoughts or any questions, please put them down below. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. But if you subscribe, they'll probably unsubscribe you. And maybe about half the people that are subscribed do not get notifications. I did a tongue-in-cheek video about that last night, so there's no reason to subscribe because YouTube will unsubscribe you. They won't send out notifications. It's just another way of censoring things they don't want you to know. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you again. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you for the cups of coffee and joining me on Patreon. God bless you. Always be prepared for a disaster. This stuff is escalating. We got to watch if Russia is going to get the go-ahead from Iran. They do want a regime change. The president is asking yeah, the Ayatollah to turn himself in and be charged with war crimes. The Elvin prison, the gates of hell have been opened. So I'm sure people there are rejoicing about that. They did a poll recently if the people like the regime, the mullahs, and they all go, yeah. Yeah, but they kind of edited out, holding the gun to their heads. Anyways, thank you again, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.